Imagine you're Honda. You're printing money selling new pilots. You have customers opting in with tow packages and trailer hitches. You're making big claims about how the pilot can tow up to 5,000 pounds. You even option it with a tow haul mode. There's just one problem. You decide not to include any trailer wiring with your tow packages, and you force customers to take off their whole rear bumper in order to install it? Really? Hello everybody, my name is Brian, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install the OEM trailer brake harness that Honda sadly declined to include in their pilots with trailer hitches. And not just that, I'm going to show you how to do it without removing the entire rear bumper. If this video helps you in any way, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Leave your questions in the comment section below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, trailer brakes, let alone trailer wiring harnesses needed to control those brakes, are required if you're going to be towing over 3,000 pounds in the vast majority of states. So installing this is going to be extra crucial unless you like breaking the law. Now, before you go out and purchase a trailer wiring harness for your pilot, you need to know the difference between a 4-pin and a 7-pin harness. 4-pin harnesses only run the lights on your trailer, so that's your turn signals, your brakes, and your running lights, while 7 pins also include a 12-volt circuit to control your trailer brakes. Now, there are a few options for what type of harness to buy for your pilot, as well as where to buy it from, but I opted for the OEM harness purchased from a direct Honda parts dealer. It ran me about $180 prior to shipping, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. In the box are 2 separate wiring harnesses, one for inside the vehicle and another for outside the vehicle, a couple of brackets, some fuses for the fuse box in your engine bay, a fuse box you'll install in the rear of your vehicle, 2 relays for that rear fuse box, a few zip ties, a variety of bolts of different dimensions, and some wires you won't need if your pilot is like mine. The whole installation process could take about 30 minutes or so if you follow this video, so let's go ahead and jump in. You'll first need to disconnect your negative battery terminal before working on anything electrical in your car. You'll do this by opening your hood using the latch next to your dead pedal, opening and securing the hood, and removing the resonator by grabbing it with 2 hands and pulling strongly upwards. When removing the resonator, try very hard to pull the rubber feet off the posts instead of trying to pull the resonator off the rubber feet. It's really hard to slip those rubber feet back into the mounting forks once you accidentally pulled them off. Ask me how I know. Next, you're going to take a 10mm socket and completely loosen the bolt on the negative terminal. Once done, grab the black wire and jiggle it off the post. Set the negative wire aside so that it does not contact the terminal while you're working. Let's move to the back of the vehicle now. Prepare for this installation by removing the gray trailer harness cover on the back bumper. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver and a little bit of finesse to get this off. There's a tab you'll have to release at the top of the back side of this cover. Set it gently aside, and next move to the inside of the rear bumper. Grab the bottom of the trim piece that surrounds your trunk latch and pull straight up to remove it. Use your fingers or a pair of needle nose pliers to remove the existing grommet, keeping water out of your trunk. Next, open the storage bay where the tools to change a tire are hidden. You're ready to start. First, on the inside of the rear bumper, install the long silver bracket and then mount the electrical unit, making sure that the retaining tab clicks into place on the bracket. In the tire changer tool storage compartment, install the bracket on the far wall of the compartment and secure it with a flange bolt. Next, grab the wire harness that goes on the interior of the vehicle. Insert the white plastic male connector into the existing vehicle connector hidden almost just out of reach on the right side of the storage compartment. And if I'm being honest with you, this is nearly the hardest part of the job just because it's so far out of reach. Don't worry, the hardest part's coming up. Afterwards, secure the harness using the harness clips already installed in the harness. Honda has done a really good job leaving the holes in the vehicle panel for you to easily install these harness clips. Install the rear fuse box before continuing on with all the harness clips though, because you might have to twist the harness wires around a bit while installing them. Make sure you insert the 2 gray relays after you're done. Feed the remainder of the interior harness down the rear wall of the storage compartment and out the bottom of the rear side panel. Continue securing the harness using the holes that Honda has left for you until you get to the rear bumper. Plug the 12-pin connector into the unit you installed first, and then secure the 8-pin harness connector into the hole that Honda left for you. Here comes the fun part. Grab a 10mm socket and ratchet, a long Phillips head screwdriver, a long flathead screwdriver, a pair of needle nose pliers, and then slide under the car. You'll need these to remove the retaining pins and screws keeping a portion of your bumper secured. On the underside of the rear bumper, remove the 10mm bolt shown here and then use your long flathead screwdriver to pry the retaining pin open by putting the blade into the black circular gap on the front of the retaining pin. Use a pair of needle nose pliers to pull the middle of the retaining pin out if you have difficulty removing it all the way by hand. Use those same tools to remove the retaining clips shown here, higher on the inside of the bumper. Finally, use your Phillips head screwdriver to remove the screw between the two retaining clips you just removed. Your bumper should now have just enough flex for you to install the black hitch bracket and to feed the 7-pin connector into place on the back side of the bumper. Now, if you're someone who already has a trailer hitch installed like I did, I'll be honest, I think you're probably going to struggle to try and get this into place. You're going to find yourself twisting and turning this bracket as well as the exterior harness in every direction in this tiny little space, thinking that it isn't going to happen, it isn't going to fit. But don't worry, it does fit. I have done it myself and promise you that it can be done. Once you have the bracket in place, secure the 3 flange bolts down with a 10mm socket and ratchet. Afterwards, feed the 7-pin connector into place on the bracket you just installed and then secure it with 2 flange bolts. And with the remaining loose end of the harness, feed the wires up into the hole you exposed when you removed the existing grommet back towards the beginning of this video. Make sure to seat that grommet into place so that water and dust don't flood your trunk later. Fit the 8-pin harness you just fed through into the connector you mounted earlier, and then bolt your ground terminal into the existing hole in the car's body using the ground bolt. You'll know it's the ground bolt because it is completely different from the others and it has sharp threads. Finally, get back onto your car and use those zip ties that Honda supplied to you to secure the exterior harness to the trailer hitch. One last thing, take the tiny fuses you were provided and install them into your fuse box in your engine bay. Now, unfortunately, Honda gives you just one less fuse than you actually need, so you are going to have to steal one of those from the underside of the lid of your fuse box. While you're in the engine bay, reconnect your negative battery wire to the negative terminal and secure it again using a 10mm socket. Reinstall the resonator onto its posts and close the lid. Good news, you can start your car now. Now, fair warning, when you do start your car, it will tell you that every driver assist has failed and to see a dealership, but there's really no need to worry. Take your car out for a 5-minute drive, park it, turn it off, and then the next time you turn it on, all of those alerts will be gone. That's it. If you've already installed a trailer brake controller, you're good to go to start towing trailers over 3,000 pounds. If you haven't done that already, please see my video in the corner to show you how to do that. I hope this video was super helpful for you. As always, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.